Now for the next guy. Before I show the clips, there are a few things I need to explain. This case is really weird because I think people have this belief that I care a lot about Robo and that I'm constantly trying to ruin his life. The truth is, I care a lot more about Jaden's case because of how long he's been around, the fact we were on a team together, and the fact I once considered him a friend. Robo, on the other hand, I barely have ever talked to, and all disdain I have for him comes from the Bryce situation and that PFMM got raided because of it. If PFMM wasn't raided, I wouldn't have cared as much. Sure, Bryce was my friend and a teammate, but something where I'm only tangentially involved becomes a whole lot bigger when it's the server I've been running for 2 years. Again, just to reiterate though, my claim that he's cheating doesn't stem from any of this, and I would never just claim out of the blue someone is cheating just because I dislike them. Also, another quick disclaimer, people also believe I think he cheats because he owns DX9. The fact he owns DX9 is only relevant for one reason. The clips I presented before on Jaden were presented to SCL with the intent of watchlisting him. However, SCL voted to not watchlist him for some reason. It was at that point that I knew the only way I could reasonably get somebody watchlisted in SCL is if there was proof they owned cheats. That is the only reason I ever cared that he owned cheats. If you're wondering why I didn't watchlist him in PFMM, it's because I already knew I'd get backlash because it would display my quote-unquote bias. That's why the only option was to get him watchlisted in SCL. With all that being said, I will now show the clips and then explain the context as to which I grew suspicious. Hello everybody. Now we're doing the Robo clips, so not gonna give a whole spiel like I did last time. Hopefully you understand the rules. Levels on the top right. We're just gonna go through the clips. I think the Jaden one took me like 30 minutes or something. So hopefully I don't take as long. But there are more clips. So yeah, it'll probably be it'll probably take quite a while. But anyways, we're gonna start it. So this first clip here, this is actually the clip that I first saw, and this was sort of what got me onto the case. I quote unquote case. We'll go ahead and watch it here. Whoops, we're at 0.25. Okay, so just by watching, you can probably see like, okay, it's a little. That's a little weird, right? That's a little weird. How he's like, he looks through here but then he starts randomly shooting there. Again, don't think that guy's spotted, so it's just a little bit of a weird thing. And like I said, this was the first clip I saw, which like intrigued me. It's a level 2 because it's pretty suspicious, but again, it's not indicative of anything, I guess. I mean, he's not shooting like, I don't know, it's weird because it does line up with the elevator. Maybe you just time it and think, oh, he's gonna go through the elevator, but at the same time, do you not just wait for him to peek or think they can go here? I don't know, it's weird. It's also weird that it like lines up with this guy who's actually going to double instead of the elevator. So yeah, we're on to the next clip. Suppose I meant to show more of that, but oh no, what the hell is this? What? Okay, Jesus. That's weird. Okay, so I meant to show more of the start of this next clip, but I'll still just play it. Okay, so this one's a 1.5. So at the start of this clip, you weren't able to see it, but Epsilon is here, and he was actually shooting towards the people at Beppis. So they do know he's here, he's on radar, but what's weird about this clip is the fact that Robo, you can see him right there, he's like actually holding this angle in particular, and I've never seen anybody hold this angle before in my entire life. And that's one of the things when it comes to cheating, is that cheaters, they see people through the wall, so they like create new angles. It's weird. It's really hard to describe it, but it's with my experience in the past that if you're playing against a cheater, they'll like create new angles to get onto people because they know exactly where those people are, and it's usually not going to be like a typical position the person's going to be at. So that's why this clip is weird to me. And I mean, at the end here, it's also weird how he's like flicking around. He's lagging a little though. And then it's kind of weird how he looks here, but it's not super unordinary. So now I'll play this. So that's why it's only like a level 1.5. It's a little weirder than just like a normally somewhat suspicious clip, but it's not quite like a level 2. So that's why it's a 1.5. This one's pretty hard to spot too, if you're just looking at it at a glance. So this is a level 2 because of this right here. If we slow it right down, you can see that before he actually peeks, he aims at kitten spits through the wall and starts shooting before he's even peeked out. And it's not like this would usually be a level 3 if it wasn't for the fact he already saw KSP on mid-ramp. So again, you're gonna see more clips like this where it's a lot more obvious that it's cheating. But again, I couldn't put it as like higher than a 2 because he already saw KSP. But like I said, there will be instances where this happens later on where it's going to be much more suspicious. So you can just see. And I mean, you can even see with the bullet holes here. This bullet hole was created by him on his jump. You can see it's not there, and then he's shooting, and you see the bullet holes. So yeah, it's pretty weird. He does eventually die though, because one thing he doesn't have is aimbot. You are correct, Nonus. You are correct. Okay, this is a 1.5. Now I think people are mostly gonna focus on like this moment here at the end, and it is a weird moment. It is the aiming like through the thing again with like the pre-fire and the slide out, but his teammate did just die down there, so there is gonna be a call out that one's down there. But the thing to notice is like Robo's movement is pretty weird. It's like he's not looking in the typical spots you'd expect. He likes to look at the ground a lot, which you wouldn't really expect of somebody that's like considered a top 5 player or whatever. Then he whips out his knife for some reason because like his teammate did just kill somebody banner, but you're still gonna be worried about somebody potentially coming banner, right? I guess not with point over there, but it's still like a possibility. There's no real reason to take your knife out here, if I'm honest, because they could push down banner, they could push down here. There was the guy right here, but yeah, it's pretty weird. I think it's a weird clip, but again, I have it as a 1.5. It could potentially be a 1, but again, the weird thing is to me is like crosshair placement, movement, and that type of stuff. So that's why it's a 1.5, and yeah, we'll go on to the next one. There's another 1.5, and yeah, so that's Robo he killed there in the clip. And what's weird about this clip is, so Sin is here to Epsilon's left, and Epsilon is pushing up here on the right, hasn't shot or anything, and you can see on the radar, this is Robo shooting at Sin. So he's already in a gunfight, but for whatever reason, he decides to slide out and try and like pre-fire Epsilon while he's already taking a gunfight. And maybe this won't resonate with a lot of people, but usually if you're involved in one gunfight, you're not going to try and take the next. It's like it's like people will say that they might do that, but in actuality, it's a pretty rare thing to see happen at like, you know, at the highest level even. Usually you're just focusing on one gunfight at a time. But anyways, it's a 1.5 because again, it's not really, it's like not typical behavior you're gonna see, but it's also not the most suspicious thing either because he can't hear Epsilon. It's just weird you just stop focusing on Sin to try and shoot the next guy, but especially since presumably you're shooting and the footsteps are harder to hear, but I don't know. Okay. Yeah, this is a level 3 for me. Now, I think people will focus more on the end here initially because it's obviously like you're actually spectating the guy. But to me, what's the most blatant about this clip is definitely the beginning. I want you to stare at the barrel at Tetris while I play this in 0.25 speed. You see, he starts shooting, but Robo jumps out from the fucking barrel, pre-firing him perfectly. Remember, Epsilon hasn't been on radar very long. Robo's got people all around him fucking shooting. And Epsilon... okay, remember, this on radar here is from, like... Hold on. Is from back here. See, he's on radar from when he was in Red Warehouse. Okay, that red arrow is going to be back here. It's not going to be up here because he hasn't shot yet. So again, Epsilon looks, shoots one bullet, and then Robo is automatically jumping out, pre-firing Epsilon. He's not on radar. He's not spotted. Perfect fucking pre-fire while jumping out. It's insane. It's insane. It really is. Like, this, like I said, there's a reason this is level 3. I don't think there's an explanation for this other than that he's cheating. Like, this one is really bad. This one is really bad. You don't do that, dude. Nobody fucking does that. Especially, it would be more understandable if Robo jumped first and actually spotted Epsilon. Like, I don't mean spotted as in pressed E. I just mean jumped and saw him around the corner and then peeked out and pre-fired. That makes sense. But it doesn't make sense. But he didn't do that. You can see that. He didn't spot him. He just fucking jumped out full pre-firing him while he can't know Epsilon is there. That's insane. And yeah, that's pretty fucking obviously cheats to me. That's why this is a level 3. So, I think we can move on to the next clip. And again, you know, there's the stuff here at the end, but I don't think it's really that big. I guess you can look at, like, it's pretty weird how he, like, looks at KSP and isn't worried about the peak there, but again, not a huge deal or whatever. So, we'll move on to this one. Okay, so this one might confuse a lot of people because he's not really doing anything, but I need to explain, like, this clip showcases such a lack of game sense. I think it's really key to point out. Because you have instances like that barrel peak where he essentially has fucking god tier game sense. But then in this clip, notice nobody's around. He, like, glances over there and then takes out his fucking knife. He takes out his knife. That's their spawn, right there. It's pretty weird, isn't it? That's pretty fucking weird to just whip out your knife while crossing short on elevation when you're phantoms. So, that is it's a pretty simple explanation. That's why it's a 1.5 level 1.5. You don't whip out your knife when you're crossing short like this. And then he just stops looking short altogether. Again, he doesn't have the info that nobody is over there. His team can't call that out. The only way he could get that info is if he can see through the wall and sees that there are no red boxes. That's the only way you could conceivably know nobody is over there. So that's why this is a 1.5. It's weird gameplay behavior mainly. And I mean, the reason it's not a full level 2 and it's a 1.5 is mainly because the easy explanation is he's a fucking dumbass. But again, at the same time, he was like a consensus top 5 player. Those two things don't add up. Those two things don't add up. If you're a top player, you're 100% one, keeping your gun out, and two, looking short because they could be short. So that's why that one's a level 1.5. And again, also, he vaults over there with a knife too, so it's pretty weird. Alright, next clip. This is a level 1, but I also wanted to include it because, again, it really shows like Robo's lack of game sense when it comes to the game. So Sin is here, which is on the box to the right, you know, looking over C, I think is the point here. I can't remember. But yeah, so Robo has to peek out to shoot Sin, who's like on the box, but at the same time he exposes himself to short. Which is like, if you're a player who's even like mildly experienced in the game, surely you know when you're exposing yourself to short, right? Like, that's not some super high level concept. You know what you're exposing yourself to, and it's weird that Robo apparently doesn't. And especially when it's in the pursuit of shooting at somebody he can't shoot at from that angle, so he has to like peek out to shoot at him. So again, it's a level 1. It's nothing to harp on, but I just want you to like keep that in mind. Alright, this one is a level 2. So not a super long clip, no kills or anything, but again, it's sort of like that game sense thing I was talking about, but a lot of this is like indecisiveness too. Normal players aren't really going to act like this in game. There might be, he seemingly goes between like 4 different decisions in this clip, because first he says like, okay, I'm gonna go to next point. Or first he says, I'm going to go to this point. Then he says, oh, I'm going to go to the next point. Oh, I'm going to go back to this point. Oh, I'm going to go terrace. And then, oh, I'm going to go back to next point. And it's also weird because look exactly where he's looking to. He like looks over towards the point and then isn't worried about short at all. But let's remember though, there's a spawn. They spawn right over here, like in line of sight of this area. And it's really weird how, again, he's also just looking at this person directly through the wall and was like, oh, I'm gonna go terrace for some reason, which is objectively the wrong play, especially since I don't think his team rotated to Beppis yet. But then, yeah, and then he goes to hardpoint. I don't know, that's just a really weird clip. The reason it's level 2 is because, again, it's that like unusual gameplay behavior. Normal players aren't going to do that or have like this thought process or look in those places, and they're gonna worry about other locations too. It's just, yeah, it's a whole mess. Alright, yeah, so that one there is a level 1. It's not anything super big. He knows Nathan is here because 1, probably footsteps, and 2, he probably saw the trail on the frag, so he knows Nathan is down there. It's just it's kind of a weird decision to push, but I guess it's not super unreasonable. But he also like, when Nathan starts to peek out, Robo, like if we go frame by frame, he starts pre-firing. You can see the tracers coming from his gun before Nathan's around the corner. And again, the way Nathan's looking, you can tell too that he's He's hugging the wall and gonna go for a wide swing, but Robo's just ahead of it because he pre-fires the corner. So that's a little weird, but it could be footsteps, but again, it's still a pretty weird clip. This one's like a 1.5, that's all there is to see there, by the way. But anyways, what's weird about this clip is mainly that, one, it looks like he's looking at Kitten Spitz the whole time, and two, like, he's looking at Kitten Spitz directly and is like, oh, he's gonna peek me or whatever, but at the same time fully exposes himself to the right side of the box, which is where somebody would actually peek if they're behind the box. So again, it's sort of that, like, one, he's got sort of that awareness, and two, he's got the lack of awareness of, like, actual game sense in that situation, like, oh, I'm exposing myself to this side of the box entirely. So that's why it's a 1.5. It's pretty weird, but not something, like, I'll harp on too much. Okay, this one's a level 3. Oh boy. Now that one's hard to spot. That one's hard to spot. But this one's pretty fucking blatant. This one's pretty fucking blatant. Okay, so if you look at the kill feed, I know it's a little pixelated. I guess my shit rendered pretty bad, but Robo killed Nathan a little bit ago, right? Nathan is wood ramp. And he's pretty much fresh off spawn, just going to B. He hasn't shot at anyone. Nobody's shooting at him. You can see Nathan's the one to the left here, and it's the guy to the right that's actually shooting. So it's gonna be this guy that's shooting. But anyways, I'll just slow down the end of this clip, and you could probably see what the issue is. It's sort of the same thing as, like, the jaded clips. He starts aiming at Nathan through the wall. He starts aiming at Nathan through the wall. Look at this. He's looking, and then if we go frame by frame, oh, that's stock. Is the stock gonna move? Is the stock gonna move? Oh, it starts to move in. He cannot see Nathan, by the way. He cannot see Nathan at all. At all. And he's, like, pre-aiming him perfectly. He's not even at the top of the ramp. He's not even at the top of the ramp right now. He's going up the ramp. And he's perfectly fucking looking at him through the wall and pre-aiming it. Oh my god. Anyways, if that's not blatant, I don't know what the fuck is, okay? You don't do that, man. You don't do that. Again, maybe if Nathan's at the top of the ramp, it's a little understandable. But how are you going to tunnel vision that hard onto that specific angle when, if you peek out from that side, there can also be a guy, you know, we go back here, there could be a guy over here, there could be a guy jumping up here, could be a guy running in here, but no, you're specifically pre-aiming right onto Nathan, who's at an angle you would not be looking at. That's horseshit. That's horseshit. He's cheating. Again, Occam's razor, motherfucker. Simplest explanation is that he's cheating, so he's probably fucking cheating. Okay? He's probably fucking cheating. Anyways, next clip. This one isn't too big. It's a level 1.5. It's just a pre-fire, but I didn't show the context, but I'll explain it here. Zudo did just kill somebody, kill 2 people actually, you can see. So the call out is coming in that he's on point. Again, I just thought the pre-fire here is weird, especially since Robo's shooting at the box. You can see the fucking tracers. He doesn't kill him though, because again, Robo's kind of a bot. I think we've explained that in more ways than one. He's a bit of a fucking bot when it comes to aim and everything. But oh, his game sense, he can just see everyone through the fucking wall. Shockers. That is fucking shockers, man. And somebody that has that bad of aim isn't gonna be top 5 legit, man. Give me a fucking break. Give me a fucking break, dude. Anyways, next fucking clip. That one's level 1.5 because, again, there was the call out. It's not super weird, but again, it's still a little weird with the pre-fire because usually you're going to wait to at least see the guy before you pre-fire or before you shoot, but whatever. Alright, so next clip. Alright, this one's hard to see, but pretty much it's not super weird. It's only a 1.5, but you can see Zudo's like pushing up the ramp. Robo can spot him, and can it stop doing that? Why am I even getting these like recommendations? Anyways, I don't want to get sidetracked. So he like you can see how Robo like commits to the duel, even though he's in like the optimal position, especially since he knows Zudo just wasted his frag too. So Robo has a really good spot, but he like jumps down and commits to the duel, and you can see with the tracers too. You can see Robo like shoots them through this wall here. So he's like, as he's peeking out, he's tracking Zudo as he's like behind the wall. He's like following him with his aim, you know. So again, it's a pretty weird commit and like shoot through these walls or whatever to like track him, but it's not the fucking most suspicious thing in the world or whatever. So that's why it's only a 1.5. It's not like a super unreasonable decision, but again, it's still a little weird. And this one is definitely going to be longer than Jaden's segment. We're only like halfway through this bitch. Alright, next clip. Alright, so I've got a few things to talk about in this clip. One is that, okay, so Zudo's window and Robo's holding window. The only problem with Robo holding window here is that, you know, his team doesn't even have point. Usually when your team doesn't have point, the purpose in flanking window in a scenario like this is so you can flank the point and your teammate's able to take it because you're sandwiching them from all sides. But Robo like waits here for kills, which is interesting, I guess. I mean, maybe he's just going for kills or whatever. But after you get the kill, surely you don't then decide to push into Blue Warehouse. And then, like, Tom is really far away. He can't hear Tom. Especially after the shooting. So, there's the gunfight, there's the shooting. You're not going to hear Tom when he's that far away. He's, like, back in their fucking spawn right now. And then he gets to the bottom of the wood ramp here, and Robo's, like, pre-aiming Tom as he runs up. I guess at that point you could hear footsteps, but again, why are you going to push Blue Warehouse in the first place? Why? Unless you know a guy's there, you shouldn't be pushing into Blue Warehouse. And again, we talked about it. He shouldn't have the info anybody is in Blue Warehouse unless he can see him through the wall. Because he doesn't have any fucking teammates over here to call it. You know, he doesn't have any of that info, but he still pushes it. It's really weird. It's a really weird clip. It's not quite a level 3 because there are like some explanations you could give that are like shaky, but they're not like, they're not good explanations if you could make an explanation for this. So, and it's also like the simplest explanation probably isn't that he's cheating. Maybe, I don't know. It's a weird clip. It's a 2.5. It's a borderline 3. It's a really fucking weird clip. On to the next one. This one's weird. I just put it as a level 1.5 since it's not like a big deal. But it's just the way after he gets his kill, he's like looking around. Because you can see, like, one, he's like looking through the walls or whatever. So like after this kill, he's looking towards terrace. There's one terrace. He looks back towards spawn. There's one through spawn through the wall. And then he looks back at the guy terrace. I don't think he should know this guy's here either. But I'm not like super sure about that. But again, it's weird because if you're worrying about either of these positions in reality, you're going to be trying to position yourself so you can counter those positions, right? So you can either like sit in this corner back here and sit really deep and be prepared. You can go behind the forklift and be able to counter both positions, or you can like get closer to this wall here. There are a whole lot of plays you can do if you're actually worried about those positions, but the way Robo plays this, it doesn't really seem like he's worried about the positions. He's just looking there for information. But again, level 1.5, it's weird, but it's not super indicative of anything. Alright, here's the next clip. Alright, that's the end of that clip. There are two things there which on their own could maybe qualify as a level 3. So we'll start with the one most people have seen. It's the one where he pushes terrace and he like starts looking at that guy through the wall. I don't think Carbon is gonna spot that guy through the wall, or like in CQC, by the way, because that's just gonna fuck up your aim. So pretty sure he's not spotted in that situation. I could be wrong, but I doubt it. And again, it's still just weird. Like, even if he's spotted, why are you looking directly at him through the wall? You should still be looking towards the door because he could be trying to run. But anyways, that's not even the weirdest part of the clip, though. So like they have this gunfight, right? Zudo chills here. The weirdest part about this clip is the fucking pre-fire Robo does. So, this was funny as shit. So we slow it down here. When Zudo moves to the right here and then stops, Robo actually starts fucking shooting, and you can see the goddamn tracers. And then Zudo peeks out and dies. But he starts pre-firing him as Zudo is moving to the right behind the fucking wall. You can't fucking say that's legit, man. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me, dog? That's blatant as fuck. That's blatant as fuck. I don't care who you are. You're not gonna do that, dude. Why does it... Maybe if you're spamming it for a while before then, I could, like, possibly give you a sliver of a chance, but it's as soon as he moves to the right, dude. He's fucking cheating, man. He's fucking cheating. This is bullshit. Give me a fucking break, man. Oh, do you get spooked by a ghost or some shit? No fucking shot, you're pre-firing this, man. That's so unbelievably stupid, man. Okay. You know what? I've spent enough time on this clip. Time to go to the next one. Okay, so that was the clip there. Just gonna go and explain. Okay, so there are probably two things in this clip you can point out. One, it's when Zudo goes down here. I mean, obviously he throws his frag here, so I guess you'd know somebody is here. But the way Robo like peeks out and pre-fires it, he's like because you can tell by the angle, right? He's sitting behind the wall and he's like looking right at the wall. He's staring right at the fucking wall. And then he peeks out and immediately starts shooting at Zudo. Like, okay, that's a pretty weird play. Because surely you're going to wait until they're closer before you peek. Because then you can like dive out. And you can hear them. Two, you can dive out and displace their aim even more. So, like, it's really weird to, like, peek like that. And then next is like, for some reason, he just stops holding that angle there entirely. Doesn't expect a second person. and just is like, oh, I'm gonna go up terrace right now. By the way, points down there for another 40 seconds. And even more weird is the fact, one, he's not even worried about to the left at all. Again, he's not worried about the door. He's not worried about anyone being mid-ramp. Okay, that's a little strange. Everybody's going to be worried about mid-ramp there, right? Maybe if you're a little tunnel vision, but come on now. You gotta at least be wary of those positions. And then he like hard commits to fighting these guys terrace. And again, is entirely exposing himself to these other positions. So, again, it's not super indicative of cheating or whatever. It's just really weird. You could say, again, that he's, like, dumb, but he's also, like, a top 5 player. But also, you know, all that fucking jazz. Anyways, it's weird to me. And we'll move on to the next one. Alright, this is only a level 2. I'd probably bump that down to 1.5 or 1 if I was to review it again, but what's weird about this is just the look back to the left there. Again, you can tell he's not looking like he's actually worried about somebody coming to that position. Otherwise, he's going to look towards there and not towards here. But again, here he just, look, I have a cone of vision that can see all 4 fucking people through the walls. That's so insane, man. That's fucking crazy. But yeah, I think I'd put it at 1.5 because it's like weird. If you're really worried about that, you'd be looking in a different place. Yeah, it's just pretty weird for me. Alright, this one's just a level 1. So, the main thing with this one is, like, it's pretty weird how he, like, looks to the left here as he's coming up. Like, surely, if we're talking about, like, footsteps, which is going to be the main argument, I suppose, for most of these clips, you're going to know that they're double and that they're close. You're not going to be worried about anybody pillar or anything, right? You're gonna know they're coming double doors. And I guess he like dolphin dives to the left. I guess that's why he looked that way, but then at the same time, if you're using footsteps, you know they're that close. I don't know, it's really weird. It's only level 1 though. It's not something to harp on too much, so I'll just move on. This one again is like a level 1. Like, I think he pretty clearly fucking acknowledges that these guys are here to the right. But then he like turns away to try and get to the box. I don't know, it's a really weird reposition. Not much else to add. It's a level 1, it's kind of weird, but again, I don't even know if I need to show any other clips because they're the other fucking level 3s, but we'll continue. Oh wait, this is a level. This one's funny. Okay, surely you guys saw that. Surely, I don't think I need to walk this one through, but you know what? I'll give you the benefit of the fucking doubt. He's vaulting here, and then, oh! I'm just gonna start aiming here for some reason. I don't care who the fuck you are. You're not pre-aiming that when you're rounding that corner, man. Keep in mind, the guy he kills is Sid, who literally wasn't even playing this map. He was just fucking spawning in to check the goddamn score. And Robo is rounding a corner at Blue Warehouse and fucking pre-aiming him. No fucking shot. No way, dude. No fucking way, dude. Voice crack. Ooh. But anyway, dude, no fucking shot. You're fucking cheating, dude. Like, I don't care how much fucking spawn knowledge you have in the goddamn world. Like, that guy's... You're not pre-aiming that exactly like that, man. And you can even see with like how the characters lined up. He's got the perfect fucking angle specifically for Sid, who's partially exposed. His fucking arms are sticking out. Like, that was so fucking blatant. But anyways, we'll move on to the next clip. I think that one speaks for itself. Okay, again, this one is this one's pretty fucking weird. So, this is off spawn at the start of Metro, right? I guess I edited this incorrectly. No, he's coming around the corner here. And Robo, if you fucking zoom in there, if you take a little gander of a peek, Robo is fucking prone peeking Zudo at his own goddamn spawn. Nobody fucking does that, dude. Are you fucking kidding me? What the fuck? What the fuck are you doing? Look, I don't care who the fuck you are and how, like, bitch made you are to watch your spawn off the start of the goddamn game, but you're not peeking it like that to look perfectly at fucking Zudo while you crouch peek this man. Literally, even the thing about this clip too is the way you know it isn't normal to do that is he has a teammate that jumps onto the escalator here to go up Paradox, who's completely fucking unaware. And remember, this is id. Or, this is DI. This is DI fucking playing, okay? They won last season. They're not a bunch of scrubs. They're not a bunch of shitters. Like... It's so stupid, man. It's so fucking stupid. If you're... I want to know, out of everybody who's played fucking competitive Fatal Forces, how many times have you done that play? Look, I'll answer for you. It's 0 fucking times out of a trillion, okay? Nobody fucking does that. Nobody fucking does that. Anyways, next clip. Okay, this is a level 1.5. It's weird. It's a weird little double take. Not much else to really say. It's just weird, like, why are you double taking that? But honestly, I could probably put that, I don't know. It's a 1.5 because it's like really weird gameplay behavior, but at the same time, I guess it's not super like indicative of anything. I don't know. It's a weird clip. Okay, this one is weird. Not because of like anything he does to kill these people or to like get them to die. So he like kills. He gets the call. Okay, Top Eski's dead. He was probably calling that to his teammate, right? And then he takes out his fucking knife. He's the only one side Eskies, and he's taking out his fucking knife. He doesn't care. He just runs in the middle of the fucking open with side Eskies completely exposed. And also, like, you could tell in the clip too, he's like glancing to the left too, which is kind of weird, but that one's only a 2 cuz like, again, I guess a top 5 player could just be a little fucking retarded, and it's just a coincidence that nobody was side Eskies to punish him. Maybe it's a fucking coincidence, okay? And then the last clip here. Yeah, again, taking the fucking knife out, and he goes close side Eskies, and again, isn't worried about it. He's not worried about anybody coming side Eskies at all. You're the only one on your team who's fucking side Eskies. You're the only one. How are you not gonna look side Eskies at all? How are you not gonna pre-aim it or anything? How? I get it's only 2.5 because it's not like super blatant. But again, like you're the side Eskies player. Why the fuck are you moving up to mid like that and not worried about bottom side Esks at all? Anyways, this portion has been 43 minutes long. God damn, this is gonna be one long ass full length video. But yeah, that's the last of that clip. Hopefully, when you guys realize that when I said he was cheating, I didn't just mean that because he had fucking DX9, okay? I said it because of these goddamn clips and the fact he didn't record his shit, so. Anyways, that's all I have to say. Enjoy the rest of the video, I guess. So now that you have seen the clips, I hope you realize that there were better grounds for my claims than you may have initially thought. However, I also want to provide additional context for my suspicion. After Season 2, I took about a 2-month break from comp entirely. I came back, and to my shock, Robodank was considered a top 5 player. Now I know what you're going to ask. What's wrong with that, you might say? Well, right before taking my break, I played against him in the finals. In his only map played, he went negative and was pretty quickly subbed out. Leading up to that point, Robodank was not on any list of upcoming players, and in fact was overshadowed by other players that were on his team during Season 2. The same could also be said for when he was a minors player. Needless to say, he was not on my radar as somebody that could potentially become a top 5 player in the game and a starter for the #1 team. This alone isn't an indication of anything. All it did was put Robo on my radar. As the owner of PFMM and someone who has always been involved in looking into that type of stuff, I've always tracked these things just in case. If you want to look for a similar case, Adam, from my previous Overwatch, went from being a borderline starter on Gang's Academy roster during Season 1 to being considered the best player in PF in roughly the same time span. That's why it was important for me to keep track of all of this stuff. At some point after that, 9ticks also presented a clip of Robo from one of THG's scrims against DI. Then some point after that, there was another scrim where Epsilon's clips came from. Now I want to move on to when my beliefs really became concrete, and that's after he got watchlisted. So, the video that was proof of Robo owning DX9 was sent to SCL, and from then on Robo recorded all of his matches and the world was at peace. Well, not exactly. The day after getting put on recording, he left almost every PF server and didn't play a match for the rest of the season. Not only did he not play in SCL, but he didn't record in any match capacity. Not in SCL, not in PFMM, not in a scrim, not in a Bobo MM, nothing. He had every opportunity in the world to record any match, and he opted not to. His official excuse for leaving was this: I was still planning on playing, and Build was worried if I was actually cheating or not, so I decided to put myself on recording, but then something happened between me and someone else, and that killed my motivation to play the game. A couple hours after that, I decided to leave abruptly, so that Drastic could get a player change, even told Build that. It is pretty convenient that something happened to kill his motivation right after he's put on recording, right? I don't doubt something happened, but what realistically could happen that would kill all of your motivation to play a game you were grinding for months on end? And not even that, if I was accused of cheating and I was innocent, I would do everything in my power to prove I'm legit, especially if it's a game I've sunk a considerable amount of time into. And people will also say that he requested to get put on watch lists, but that doesn't really matter unless you actually record a fucking game. So, again, after leaving SCL and not recording any match, that was what sealed his fate for me. Overall, I hope I convinced you that I don't think these people are cheating simply because I dislike them. I've always taken anything that comes to cheating very seriously, and I always will. Obviously, if you have any questions or comments, you can comment on the video or DM me on Discord. If you're obnoxious, I'll just delete the comments or block you. I don't have much patience for that shit anymore. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this pretty much full-length movie at this point. It's probably going to be like 2 hours long at this rate. But yeah, hope you enjoy, and I hope you have a good day. Peace out.